The interview is meant to happen at hour. Whoever turns up for it is who we're after. I'm hoping for the man in this photo, but as far as I've gathered, there's no guarantee it'll be him. So even if it's not him, arrest the man, then bring whoever it is here. He'll no doubt tell you he works for the council. Arrest him anyway.
Oh. Now you said nothing about the council, sir. We've already reckoned what we're doing isn't lawful. Now with a councilman in the matter, I don't think I can proceed with this plan of yours.
Excuse me?
Well, now that the council is mixed up in this, we can't break law with them involved. Even if they weren't involved, we're already breaking the law to unlawfully arrest someone. It's abuse of power, miscarriage of justice, and against the law and constitution.
That wasn't the problem, Captain. My problem started when you said anything but, yes, sir.
Respectfully, your highness. Me and my men take our orders from who wears the crown, and right now you're not wearing it. Even if you were to be, the crown isn't above the law.
I'm not sure you understand. You don't have a choice.
Your father will hear about...
Did I say you could interrupt? You seem to mistake me for being a soft-gutted sap, thinking the mere mention of my father or the law means anything to me, compared to catching the man that tried to kill my sister. The law can't help, and my father was never bothered to even care. So get in line and do what you're obligated to do. You serve the crown, and I am the damned crown as far as you're concerned.
My obligation is to more than just the crown. I don't know where all that just came from, but you can't push me around behind that front of confidence. We won't be doing anything like this under your command.
Been listening to my father's remarks about me, have you? All heart, no spine, with a half-witted mind. You there, Rasinski. You've been in the guard a few years, haven't you?
Sir.
You've done well in those years? Not a fan of the captain here either. Unscrupulous, racist, and the king's personal bootlicker.
Your highness, I don't know where you heard that, but... Bootlicker? You disgraceful mongrels, I think you were in such a prestigious position.
What's disgraceful is that you think you can talk to your superiors like that. Captain Rasinski won't like it.
Captain? You can't just replace me with a lackey whenever you see fit.
Can't I? Captain Rasinski and I seem to think otherwise. Not only is he now your superior, but he's also going to do what I ask of him and his men, aren't you?
Absolutely, your highness. We'll be waiting for the man per your instructions, and the former captain will be glad to do it. Come on then, let's get on with it as he's told us to do. One thing, sir. How do you know my name?
Can't a boy just know the staff who serve him?
Of course. Alright, let's go.
All in the glasses. Names, biographies, and much more. These things are useful. You live. Thank goodness. Just saying. It's been that long since I've seen you being yourself, I was beginning to think you'd lost your voice. I loved it when you used to do that more often. Do what? My voice is perfectly fine. You know. Push. The last time I saw anything like that from you was a few years back. I don't remember doing anything like that before. You have a selective memory. You're not nearly as toothless and innocent as you think you are. Okay, I remember, but she deserved it. It's not like her hair wouldn't grow back. All she did was throw some milk, and I actually think she was aiming for me and was just an awful shot. You didn't see the look on her face she made through the full face of milk you got. Well, either way, she didn't say sorry. So you cut all her hair off? In my defense, I was 10. And after that, she called us names. How does your father think you spineless after doing things like that? Surely your tantrums are evidence enough. My mother never told him, I think. Whatever punishment she had in mind was probably better than anything he'd have come up with. She cut my hair for that, you know. Well, you probably deserved it. Who knows how many times things like that have saved you from your temper? I do not have a temper. Oh, but you do. Around people you couldn't tell these days, but you're the same person I met 8 years ago. You just know how to hide it better. That and you've been so tepid since... you know. Anyway, maybe the hair cutting was a bad example. All I meant was that I'm happy to see you're not as hollow as you've been making yourself out to be recently. Can't you do that more often? Maybe not fire people, but, well, use that brain of yours for what it's good at. You don't have to make everyone happy. You can't. So just try doing what you want for a change, Unless doing what you want includes putting a sock in my mouth, because talking is the only thing I'm good for.
You'd eat the sock just to keep talking. Waste of a sock. Why is it my ears you talk off, though? There are plenty of other people down south closer to home to drag out to jelly meat bars and cinema outings.
You're the only person who's put up with it for so long. And you're the first who could. Which is funny, because the first time we met you were in a tantrum and pushed me over, which wasn't a great first impression.
Yeah, well, Mother forced me to apologise and make friends, so I got stuck with you. Then you actually kept talking. And talking. And talking.
It's not like I could have run away. You're all spoilt using your legs so much. You lot can walk away whenever you run out of things to say.
So can you.
Yeah, but this chair's comfy. And without the drip-fed painkillers I wouldn't get far.
Have you ever tried stronger ones? You've got the best treatment, but there's nothing state-of-the-art about your painkillers.
Too young and too healthy to justify the expense, they say. It doesn't hurt, you know. Unless some prick knocks the chair or pushes me over on the rare occasion I happen to be standing and annihilating my confidence for months to try again.
That prick said he was sorry.
Because his mum told him to.
And got a handful of spiders on his face in turn.
Chicken.
He really hates spiders. So much that one day he plans to do the same to... Sir, we've got someone. Talking a whole bunch of gibberish, but we've got him. We're coming to you. Already? I thought I had more time. About to maybe meet the same man who tried to kill my sister, and I don't feel ready at all. Do I regret planning this all along?
What could go wrong? You've got whoever it is already.
Sir, there's been some terrible misunderstanding. I was just looking to adopt. I'm no fugitive. Oh. Bollocks. Hello, Inspector. Fancy seeing you here.
Isaac, dear boy. How miraculous of you to have arranged this setup. I've been meaning to find time to talk again with your family. Not quite with a gun pointed at my back, though. Anyway, there has been a tremendous, monumental muck-up on my end.
Yes, there has been. And you'll never see daylight again for it. Arrest him.
Oh, Listen here, I'm trying to make amends, so spare the blasted cuffs for a minute.
Or what?
Oh, Scourge, take me. The council will gladly use this incident as justification for all sorts of dubious deeds. Neither your crown nor constitution comes close to the authority of the council.
How much more dubious can you go than murdering children?
Murdering children? Oh my, I really minced the first impression, didn't I? Whatever it looked like, you'll have to believe me when I say I had no intention to kill anyone. How is your sister anyway?
Alive.
There's no talking out of this, I see. Just do it like always, they said. What can go wrong, they said. They didn't bother to tell me the libertarian bigwigs weren't so scared to admit they even knew what Zro was, did they?
Guards.
There's just no being civil about it these days, is there? Let's do this the Inspectorate's way, shall we?
By order of the silence.
Leave.
Sir.
Now.
Of course. Captain, where are you going? Guards, get back here. I command you to arrest him.
Save your breath. They're of no use to you anymore.
Your eyes.
Ta-da! Now I hope I have your... Don't try it. I'm much faster on the draw than you.
That's impossible.
Impossible, yes. So please perish any thought concerning the gun behind your back before I show you what other impossible things I can do. So, now I have your attention. Allow me to sincerely apologize for what transpired last time. But we need to talk. Desperately. And it's fortunate you set this up. Otherwise this conversation may not have happened until it was too late. It may already be too late, in fact. I'll get to that.
Too late for what?
I'll get to that. For now, let's start at the beginning. My name is Lewis, and I work for an organization known colloquially as the Inspectorate. The purpose of this institution and its inspectors is, at its core, to find, contain, control, and if necessary eliminate people who possess within them inherent powers known as psionics. Founded in the aftermath of the Praetorian Crisis, we have worked for 2 millennia to ensure that we never again see a repeat of that crisis. How, you ask? Well, the short story goes like this. The Scourge can sense psionics and actively hunt them and any closely related species, and we have no clue why. In their seemingly infinite numbers, we cannot fight the Scourge, so we do everything in our power to mask the presence of those with psionic power.
What nonsense is this? Psionics and Scourge. This is just some elaborate setup, you—
Shush now, the grown-up is talking. Now, among other things, it is my job to find these psionics and bring them in for assessment, which is in most cases where my part ends. When we last met, I was following up on what was meant to be an easy case, if a bit politically sensitive. The daughter of a certain highly wealthy woman with access to the best healthcare this world offers died of unknown causes. I was to perform a field assessment of the suspected psionic. I hope you can see where this is going. Of course you can. You figured out part of this story yourself. Anyway, it was meant to go so simply, but of course our intel was botched. Your mother died shortly after, not during, labor. In our field, that means a lot. Then throw in the fact you even knew what Zro looked like, and weren't afraid to admit that to us, made for a very tense situation.
Are you saying that? No, this is ridiculous. My sister is not some purple-eyed freak psionic. I'd have noticed. I'd have seen it. I practically raise her, and she's never done anything like this. This is just a dream. Or a joke. Another one of your damned jokes, Ebba.
Listen here, this is no joke. I'm deathly serious, and if you don't start listening, not one of us will be laughing when all's over. I didn't begin this investigation with any intent to kill your sister, but make no mistake, she'll soon be dead without my intervention. Your sister is a unique case in that the use of her powers does not overtly reveal her possession of them. She is a psionic mute. How old is she now? Just shy of 2? She'll only just be cottoning on to her powers and learning to use them. You wouldn't have noticed anything so early. I understand it's going to take more than a few words for you to understand or trust me, but I'm afraid I must see her imminently. The process might help to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, anyway.
You're not going near my sister. As if we'd ever let you.
Oh, and what's your stake in this, Miss Ackerman? Never even mind that. How do you even hope to stop me? You can't even stand without difficulty, let alone try and stop me. Myasthenia stellarum is a rotter of an illness to have, though. How do I know that? We know everything about our persons of interest and close associates. At least we're meant to. But a neuromuscular disorder is an easy one. It's a shame, though. They cured myasthenia gravis centuries ago, only for the stars to hand it right back to us. Nature still holds the aces when it comes to genetics, I suppose. Even today we can't clone 100 men without a few dozen turning out deformed. Not that outlawing such things has helped. But I digress. I need to see your sister.
You're not going near her, whatever you are.
My dear boy, I don't believe you have a choice. I'm sorry I have to do this, but you'll do as I say. You too, Miss Ackerman. Now let's go, before I burst a blood vessel. Here we are. I say, was that statue there last year?
That statue has been there for 5 centuries, Inspector. Why am I even talking to you like this?
Yes, that'd be me forcing you to cooperate. You won't understand it until you know more about psionics. 5 centuries ago, eh? Built in your slavery years, then. The council wasn't very pleased with that indentured servitude program you had. Very old-fashioned, too.
Well, no one here was all too pleased with the council. I don't think that's just us, either. Maybe if they all used the taxes they collect to help the people for once, they wouldn't have all these little nations sprouting up every century. What do they even spend all the money on?
You non-founders will never understand. Your governments weren't there to sign the Accords. Your leaders never saw the glory days of Earth and the Council, or the muck they dragged it up from.
No one alive today ever did.
Let's stop this dally. The sooner I see your sister, the... Oh, I have to take this. Talk me past the guard, will you? Don't try anything funny.
Like I have a choice. Morning, Alex. No need to announce our arrival.
Who is the 3rd man? Never seen him before.
He can't. He's Counselor.
Counselor Lewis. Counselor? Council of Unity, Counselor?
Yes.
I'll have to notify the court of a councilman's arrival.
No, not that kind of counselor. He's... well, it's hard to explain. When I say counselor, I mean that he's... well, he's...
A therapist. A therapist of unity. Did he say unity? I think he meant union. Of union?
yeah, union, as in... that, well...
Union, as in that we're together and he's counselor.
No, that's not...
You could have just said that. Nothing to be embarrassed about.
That's not what's happening. That man isn't meant to be here. He's... magic.
Whatever works, Your Highness. I'll spare you any more embarrassment.
I'm trying to say that he is... oh, why can't I say it?
No need to say anything more, Lordship. Of course we're sure. They've been planning years, maybe decades for it. Nothing short of a miracle is going to keep the cat in the bag much longer. Then tell the councillor that he's a fool. If he won't listen, we'll have to take it higher. I have to go. Later. You can all go through.
Alright, she'll be in here.
Morning, Your Highness. I've watched her as you asked.
Thanks for the help. Can we be alone?
Certainly. By the way, that socialist is around again. Something about a favour to ask. Then there's a message from Arnulf about a second viewing of some prototype. And then there's also some paperwork I've stashed in my room. I'll be going though. Staff don't work themselves these days.
Okay, here we go again. Relax, for heaven's sake, you two. I'm not a bloody assassin. Hi there, Rosalie. You won't remember yet, but we've met before. Last time I meant to give you something. I'd like to try again.
No.
Ah, smart. But I'm a doctor, and this is medicine.
For what?
Well, it's for a lot of things. It can help with some headaches, helps you think, keeps you safe from yourself, and keeps big monsters away. It also tastes like strawberries. I hope, at least. Still need convincing? How about I eat this one, and then you can try one?
Can't you tell another way? Do you have to give her that pill? Anything but that.
Oh, I already know she's a psionic. I can feel her poking at my thoughts as all children do without much success. This young, she won't even really know she's doing it though, and neither will she be any good at it. Without instruction, she won't have even been able to touch your force, let alone mine. She was far too young last time though for me to tell. Now it's just a test. There's a handy trick in which his road tastes different to a psionic depending on how stable they are. I want to see how she will. Now, here you go. Tell me what it tastes like, and if you don't like the taste, you can spit it out.
Like strawberry.
Good, good. That means you're still stable. If it tasted vile, that was also acceptable. And now with that inside you, you'll be stable and empowered enough for what I need next. Do you feel any different? Lightheaded? Or maybe something else?
No.
So young and underdeveloped you shouldn't have. But nonetheless, it should have boosted you. I need you to try something. Something no one has asked you to do before, because it won't make sense to them. But you'll understand. Try reaching out. No, not with your hands. Just grab. There's pressure you feel from somewhere, like a blanket covering your thoughts. Or maybe a presence inside a person you can feel. Grab it. Poke it. Whatever you want. Try on Isaac. You won't hurt him, though he might find the experience confusing, and there's no telling what he does next.
I'm dreaming. This is ridiculous. Glowing eyes and mind control, relationship therapists, and now there's an invisible air or presence that Rosalie is meant to grab without her hands. What's she supposed to do anyway when she gets it? Paint it without using a brush?
Don't listen to him. Once you have it, try saying hi.
Hi.
Without using your mouth.
Oh great, and now he's talking telepathy. Someone punch me.
Hitting is bad.
Yes, well I know it's bad, but anything to wake me up from this damn nightmare.
Swear.
Damn isn't a... Excuse me?
What?
Damn isn't a swear word.
We said nothing, old boy. That was your sister.
No, I must have just dreamt that. Imagined it. None of this is even possible. I just fell and hit my head and I'm about to wake up in a hospital with the worst headache I've ever felt. Fuck if my head doesn't hurt enough now.
Where?
How do you even know that's a swear word? You're bloody too. You shouldn't even know what fuck, or shit, or bloody well what the bloody fucking word damn means, so how could this be anything but a dream? Next thing, you're going to start reciting pie, or fucking levitating.
Now, levitating that is impossible. But reciting pi? 3.1?
I'm drunk. Or high. Both. No. I'll smash your skull open with my hands, you monster. This is a lie. By the stars, my head...
I don't suppose in that wheelchair you can catch him. Guess not. Don't worry. Aggression is a typical response, even from those who aren't typically the violent type. It'll have passed when he wakes up. Hopefully.
Ah, stupid. Thinking I'd ever have the nerve to replace the captain, or that mind control was even possible. How was it not obvious that it was a dream?
Boo.
Oh shit.
Swear. And hug.
Okay, either double dream, or my sister is a sorcerer.
Your sister is a sorcerer. It's not magic, though we do often call it supernatural power. So now I'm obviously not a murderer. I'd like to give a rundown on things. I didn't come with a full briefing as this is all out of the blue, and a full explanation will have to wait. So, your sister is a psionic. I'm a psionic. Most inspectors are psionics, and we spend our time finding other psionics. Those in the council that know of this have this held in the utmost secrecy, and for millennia have tried to keep psionics from becoming unregulated and from dominating society. What caused psionics to originally appear was mass exposure of humans to sunlight without the shield of Earth's atmosphere, which held special properties that colony ships at the time did not have. The first astronauts of the 20th century were also exposed, but whatever causes the supernatural power to manifest in us is so rare it didn't manifest in any of their children. When the colonial boom began, millions of humans were exposed, and the first psionics were born. The space amoeba sensed it, and became increasingly aggressive until they were replaced with what we call the Perforan Scourge, which nearly wiped us out. The Council of Unity caught on to the problem and wanted to cover it up. Their current Prime Speaker, bless his soul, didn't want to start a new cycle of lies that he'd sworn by God to break. Before he could though, he bit the bullet, and to this day there is compelling evidence that it was his own dear council that did it. You won't hear that from anyone else but us, because we were rather fond of the chap since the whole Inspectorate project was his idea until he got shot, and we were turned into shady fedora-wearing, child-napping secret agents. Though to be fair, he was half barmy himself. I'm convinced he thought psionics were descendants of God or something silly. How he ever became Prime Speaker, only God knows.
Kidnapping? You aren't taking Rosalie?
Oh no, not in this case. If I was going to, I would have done it already. Where was I? Well, psionics are only hidden from the Scourge by keeping the numbers low relative to the size of the human population, as your null minds in enough number can hide ours from them. Which is why the council never stopped the ridiculous population growths, as frankly we're not sure how many humans to psionics we need, but also through the consumption of Zhro, which despite being illegal and completely lethal to others, people seem set on trying to consume, making supply difficult for us.
If you can control minds, it shouldn't be that hard.
Most psionic eyes glow. It's not very discreet, and believe it or not, it makes mind control very difficult when a person is alerted to us. You may not have heard of the witch hunt of 2855, but it wasn't superstition when they started hanging witches. And could you imagine if country leaders started getting their mitts on psionics, or if they were psionics themselves? The council has enough seams to keep together without power-mad mind-controlling dictators running amok. If we didn't have some special circumstances here, I'd have taken your sister already. Nothing personal, just the way it is.
Special circumstance?
Point A. Your sister is what we call a mute psionic. Her eyes don't glow when she uses her power, making her powers much more useful if she can control them. Point B. Psionics often need minimal contact with others in their early years to stop them using powers willy-nilly and becoming unstable. Your sister lives a secluded lifestyle here. She won't even go to school. She'll have tutors and such, I imagine. Point C. The Inspectorate would love to have her because mutes are often found too late to help, but that means she'd be a lab rat. And I may kidnap children, but I do it for the good of all, not for someone to keep them locked up. Point D. I like this house, and want to come here more often. Point E is that the air here is nicer. Point F. I fancy myself a better teacher than others, and Rosalie will need professional training. Point whatever letter is that I need an excuse to do something worth my station other than run around finding children. And the last point is that the world is out of food, and everything is on the verge of fire and brimstone. I'll be damned if I die fighting the new Federation. Oh, actually, and the last point is the Council wants to keep as many nations on their side in the upcoming Smash and Bash, and was hoping maybe not kidnapping your sister would maybe keep this nation on side.
New Federation? The Federation was stamped out over 2 millennia ago. There's still food around too.
Not out there, it isn't. The new Federation is a secret underground movement that's been cooking for decades. It's not just the typical ex-federal nations this time. It's got all sorts of politicians and corporate support, and we only just found out a few years ago. They've got plans, and have been working on them for a while now, sneaking through the ranks and consorting with all manner of people. Have you or your father ever been approached by any shady sorts about it, or anything like it?
Every day, Inspector. But around here we call them politicians.
Maybe check on your father then, Actually, he hasn't even heard the news about his daughter.
And he never will. He hasn't cared for her all this time, and he won't be learning about it now.
Hate to Pasca, but what are you doing in bed?
Watch this. Stand on one leg for 1 minute and stay quiet. Good. I'll erase that memory and he'll come back to the start of that train of thought. I will be off. They'll be expecting me back. I'll send you a brief about psionics and Rosalie. And if you want to know the seriousness of the new Federation, then we know they plan to make some kind of move on the 3rd day of a month. That's all we have. Now carry on as you do as usual. You'll have plenty of time to oversee Rosalie's development. And you can even teach the more disciplined focus aspects in my absence. I can't be here all the time. Oh, and the Zro I gave Rosalie was altered so that it lasted but an hour. So she won't be snooping around on your head or performing sorcery for much longer. Toodaloo.
Hey sir, what?
Another fall. That's been happening a lot recently.
Yeah, I was trying to find you about the food program.
Sorry, Isaac isn't feeling well. Can you give us a few minutes? Get a tissue for your nose before you bleed all over the floor, too. I'll be out in a minute, okay? Just wait outside. Rosalie, if you're a psionic, how come you never said anything? She didn't know, did she? From what the Inspector explained, what little psionic power she has now she'd have thought we all have. She didn't realise it was unique in any way. And like the Inspector said, it was only the Zro that enabled her to do what she did. But that now makes her cooler than you. You'll have to up your game if you want to compete with her when she grows up. We'll see. There's nothing in the books about children with magic powers or telepathy. We can't hide that forever. Especially if she starts blurting out things she shouldn't know. Haha, fuck. Like fuck. And shit. And shit. And Hey, I never said that. Ever thought it? How do you even know that's a swear? Apparently, psionic children grasp the inherent meaning of words faster than normal people. Something about feeling what the word means to the person who's speaking. So they may not be able to say or even remember the words, but they understand a lot of them. Simple ones, that is. Like bastard. Stop swearing. You'll get in trouble with that mouth. And you need to take care of Isaac now. Huh. Chicken. Cluck cluck. Oh, not you too.